In the last few years, a debate has been sparked. Vaping.
I have some friends that never smoked before and now they vape because it's the cool thing. And then when we go out, sometimes they'll have a cigarette now when before they never would.
This week, Health Canada said it intends to introduce new measures to curb the rising amount of vaping by young people.
I still remember when the e-cigarettes first came out, we thought that's a great idea, right? You take people that are smoking cigarettes, switch them all over here. You go from 4,000 chemicals down to maybe 20 or 30 chemicals. It sounds great, right?
Smokers are stomping out their cigarettes and picking up their vapes.
Juul has been called the iPhone of e-cigs. It's made nicotine go viral. And if you check out their billboards, young people are front and center.
There seems to be a bunch of different sources claiming that vaping is either way safer or much worse than smoking, and most of them gloss over important facts to hammer in the teenage vaping issue. Today, I'm going to give you all the information you need to grow your own opinion on this topic. But there are a lot of things to consider. We have to take into account the different types of devices that exist, and when that is concluded, we have to ask what a certain person is looking for with vaping. As far as we know, there are two methods that are currently being used with vaping. Some use vaping to quit smoking altogether, and others use vaping as an alternative to smoking. Devices that allow users to quit smoking typically give them the ability to lower the amount of nicotine in the vape juice. These are called box mods, and they come in a variety of different appearances. These vapes typically work using three parts. First, the box. This contains the battery and allows you to change the wattage for more or less vapor. Then the tank, which screws directly into the box. This is where you put in the flavored juice. Inside the tank is a coil, usually composed of metal and cotton, which absorbs the vape juice and is then heated to produce vapor. Box mods allow the users to customize their vaping experience by changing the mod, the tank, the coils, and the mouthpiece. On the other hand, you have devices like Juul. Juuls are known as a closed system, wherein the customer doesn't put their own vape juice inside a reservoir. Rather, they purchase pods with the juice already inside, and once the juice runs out, they just put in another pod. Juuls work using only two parts, the battery and the pod. To start vaping with Juul, all one needs to do is place the pod into a charged battery. Juul offers little to no customization. This means there's no way to lower the amount of nicotine with the pods provided by Juul. As of late, Juul has been selling pods with 3.5% nicotine compared to the normal 5% nicotine, allowing customers to lower their intake but not completely rid themselves of a nicotine addiction. To do this, Juul would have to offer all their flavors in a variety of different nicotine levels, slowly decreasing to zero. We also have to look at those who are vaping recreationally, meaning vaping without a prior nicotine addiction. Have you ever smoked?
No.
How'd you start vaping?
I just tried it one time at a friend's house.
Now, it is true that you can get vape juice without nicotine in them, which is without a doubt safer than vaping with nicotine. But those who vape recreationally might be drawn to products like Juul for their ease of use, meaning that person is at serious risk of a nicotine addiction.
My name is Neil Cavagon. I work as a family doctor here in Estevan, Saskatchewan, and then I work part-time in the emergency rooms in Regina. So for those who are just doing it and they've never smoked a cigarette before, never smoked a cigarette or like a cigar, and they're just using it kind of recreationally, I would say that those people are just asking for trouble.
Now, we must look at the safety of vaping, along with the pros and cons.
Before I just make a clear statement that it's just as bad, I would caution most people to say that we just don't have the evidence for it. So most physicians, such as myself, would defer to have any further comment on it because we in the medical community just don't have any evidence suggesting either or.
As Dr. Capagon said, as of the moment, we simply do not have enough research to determine whether or not vaping is safe. What we do know is that in the short time that people have been vaping, they have shown an overall sign of improved health and close to no side effects from when they were smoking. Has there been any health impacts?
Not that I know of.
How has vaping impacted your life?
Hasn't really at all.
There has been a few studies of a phenomenon called popcorn lung, but those have now been disproven, so I will not go into further detail on this topic. However, this doesn't mean that vaping will be safe in the long term, and we have to wait and see. We do know that nicotine is a harmful substance that leads to dependency. The Government of Canada also says that memory and concentration can be affected, and we do know that nicotine can have effect on teenage brain development. Luckily for us in Canada, a bill was passed called the Tobacco and Vaping Products Act, which became law on May 23rd in 2018. This put restrictions and regulations on how vape products were sold, labeled, produced, and promoted. Widely regarded as a good move to ensure public safety, because before, vaping companies could produce their products however they wanted. Vapes also get their power from lithium-ion batteries, and when not taken care of properly, can explode. Open system vapes require a lot of maintenance, and when not properly done, can have dangerous consequences. How did it burn your face?
I don't know. Hot juice came up through the air ventilation and it burned me right here.
A positive about vaping is the price. The average Canadian smoker spends nearly $108 a month or $1,296 a year. Vaping has an upfront cost of about $87 for everything you need to get started, and then $27 a month afterwards, or $384 a year. So the average person will save nearly $912 if they switch to vaping. Another pro about vapes is the ingredients list. Yes, the ingredients list. Usually vape juice contains 4 to 5 products. Food grade flavoring, meaning the flavoring itself is safe to consume, a choice of nicotine levels or zero nicotine, propylene glycol, and lastly, vegetable glycerin. Both propylene glycol and vegetable glycerin has been deemed safe by the FDA and is used to generate the cloud or vapor that is produced when inhaling from a vape device. Well, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.